If I wanted to achieve more and become a high achiever in 2026, I would follow these 3 steps. Success is not about doing more, but about knowing what you want to do and achieve and sticking to it. If you are clicking on this video, for sure you are by spirit a high achiever who wants to finally accomplish what he or she starts. I totally understand that. I was stuck in the loop of starting a lot of different things which were really big for me. They meant a lot for me. I wanted to become the person who has all these things ticked already next to them. But you know what? They were not actually getting to the finish line. I noticed that I am spending much more time and energy on thinking about them and the procedures that I have to follow in the big picture. But there was a secret sauce that I noticed after a while, and I could turn it into a system that works for me. From now on, anytime there is something that I want to start in my life and then be sure that I get to the finish line, I follow these 3 simple steps definitely. So let's get started. Without any further ado, we go to step 1. Step 1, from pain to purpose. Remember why you initially started the thing that you are doing. Many people fail not because they don't have a goal. In fact, it's because they just forget why they really started that. What's their purpose behind the action they are taking daily, and after a while, they lose the motivation, they lose the pace, and they lose the energy behind it. They don't get to the right quality they expected, and finally, they just give up and don't continue. The sad part is maybe just 2 more steps would get there to the finish line and to that achievement, but they just gave up soon because of this first step. I want you to pay attention to the purpose, the feeling that reminding yourself of the deep root why you have behind your goal. If you get to the steps that it becomes painful for you, you cannot really push forward anymore mentally. Emotionally, you don't have that strength anymore. It's not because of the hardships that you are following. It's not literally because of the material or physical hardships that are in the middle of the way for you to get there. Because if you could understand what motivates you, what fires you up, you would deal with any hardship. Even you can bring the joy in the process. We have a lot of role models. Hey, buddies, we have a lot of big people who faced a lot of different hardships that we never can imagine. Of course you know about them. Of course you know a lot of books and documentaries and biographies. I don't need to name them for you. So I just want to remind you that what you are missing is that fire that you had initially in your heart. And what you do for step 1 is reminding yourself of why you cannot stand this condition anymore. You cannot stay in this pain anymore. This pain of not having motivation, not knowing where to go, not having the power to push forward anymore. This is important because you have to convince your mind and soul that you don't want to stay in the painful state. And then afterwards, you remember why you really wanted this goal. You ask yourself in different levels, why I want to achieve this goal. You name your goal. And then whatever comes afterwards, again, you question that. Why I want to really achieve this behind this goal. And you continue until you achieve to the deeper why that you feel, yes, exactly. This is the soul want. This is what my soul desires. This is who I want to become. And this is the feeling that I get after achieving this goal. I do that for myself and for those who I work with. And they can get to the aha moments that will change the whole script for them. And they can get accomplished the goal that they are looking forward. And also they are moving forward much faster even. So this step on its own is super powerful. Now, if you're ready, let's go to the step 2. But before that, as I know always people forget, if you liked it so far, please hit the like. Hey buddies, this is huge support. Thank you. Step number 2, committing to a plan that you cannot escape. This is something that many people just overlook. While you are planning, you shouldn't plan just as if you know what's going to happen. You have to plan as if you don't have any idea what's going to happen. Do you get the point in the middle? The thing is that when you know and you are aware that anytime in the middle of the day might something happen that you don't know, you don't have any idea about, that this can disturb the planning that you have, you will always be like a project manager who thinks proactively, ready for different risks, and you always have the mitigation and contingency plan. It means that you are planning something that is easy for you to stick to it. Also, you can always bring more complications if you see that nothing is happening and you have a lot of time still. As an example, it's like putting a lot of different buffer times in the middle of the tasks that you have to do, because you want to be sure that if during the day something happens and you miss one of the plans that you scheduled already, you have still some buffer time to take it to that part of the day and get it done. This was just as an example. You can think of different things. What I want you to do is sitting with yourself. Think about your condition. If you have a family, if you have to take care of different tasks daily, and you at the same time want to stick to the plan to achieve your goals as well, you have to be aware of different conditions and factors that can bring some distribution or something in the middle of your plans for your goal. So you have to be aware of that, and at the same time putting some other contingency plans in the middle, so that if something happens, you always are on control in terms of emotional states. Because my friend, sometimes we plan something and we cannot do it, and we think that I don't have the discipline that I require to become that person I wish to be. That's why I prepared the third step. Now you have the first step. You always have to revive that deeper why, because you need that fire. You need to live with love behind the goals you are pursuing, my friend. And the second step, which is always planning in a way that your emotional state knows that everything is fine and you can stick to the plan you have. And anytime you need, you can add more. But your fixed plan should be something that you cannot escape it. Now you're ready for step 3. This step 3 is something that gets you emotional, but for good. Because every day you need to become that person who already achieved that goal. My friend, you don't attract what you want, you attract who you are. So step 3, living like it's already real, keeps you closer and takes you to where you want to be right now. For that, what you can do, and I do it myself a couple of times during the day, stick to one meditation that you really enjoy. If you want me to prepare some meditation for you, I can do it. Just comment it below. But this meditation has to remind you of who you want to be, see yourself there, feel all the emotions, and then grab that person, bring into your heart, and become that person, that physiology, the way that person breathes, and also the way that person looks, all the charisma, all the motivation, all the energy, all the physiology. Physiology comes first, and your focus follows that. And also sometimes it's the other way around, like meditation. We first focus on who we want to be and leave it in that moment, and you just automatically feel that physiology. If you don't, you can help yourself with leaving that physiology, that focus gets strengthened right away. So these 3 steps are gold steps, simple, joyous, and also necessary to get you to where you want to be right now. What was first? It was reminding yourself of the deeper why you have. This is a strategy. This is not fluff. Follow it and bring me the results you have in the comments. Update me of your feelings and also day-to-day effect that you see, the energy behind every step of your goal that you are putting behind it. Second one is planning as if you cannot escape it for any reason on the earth. And third one is becoming that person you are living to become right now. Don't lose a moment of life to be the person you wish to be. It's all under your own control, focus, energy. Just enough to be grateful for who you are now. Remember, it's all in you already, and then it led you all to live it now. For that, I would like to invite you to listen to the next video, because this playlist would blow up your mindset and state, and this is what you need.